Hello, hello. Welcome. It is a pleasure and a joy to have you here. So, today we are talking about overcoming addiction in the fastest and most effective way. When I say addiction, I am referring to all addictions. So, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, guys. All right, here we go. First, you will learn what sobriety and addiction actually are, not what they've told you it is. Second, we are going to bust some mental health myths. And for points 2 and 4, you are going to learn the two things that fix addiction for good when done right. So do please bear in mind that this is just a 15 to 20-minute webinar, and I am giving you the SparkNotes version here. So no webinar is a replacement for professional help, so do seek it if you need it. And I know just the place. At the end of this video, I will tell you what your options are should you wish to work with me. Now, a quick brief on yours truly. As fascinating as I am, you didn't come here just to meet me, but it is important that you know what is possible for you, so I will give you the SparkNotes version on myself as well. After my father's death, I developed anorexia, bulimia, and substance abuse, which continued for 7 years, and I kept a complete and total secret. And one day, after some holistic trial and error, I woke up to find that I had absolutely no desire at all to binge, purge, drink, drug, or smoke, which, objectively speaking, is pretty incredible, especially considering where I started. And it is incredible because I healed myself by myself of several difficult and even deadly mental health problems without ever telling a soul or seeking direct help. And this is what sparked my passion in personal development and led to my change in career. And I had it pretty good at work, let me tell you. So, fast forwarding almost a decade to today, I have helped close to 1,000 people make the kinds of changes that take years and years happen in days and weeks with permanent results. I run 7 programs for specific areas of life, and you can see them all on my website. And according to my clients, many who have been through therapy or fancy Swiss rehabilitation centers before meeting me, my methods really are the fastest and the most effective. Okay, now listen up. When I speak of sobriety and that you can get and stay sober, I do not mean a kind of sobriety that is difficult or a huge struggle or effort. No. By working on multiple conscious, unconscious, and somatic levels, we can completely bypass the need to hyper-control behavior, which is how many people try to approach addiction and thus why they fail. So this place and state I'm referring to, let's call it your inner sanctum, is the ultimate addiction antidote. It is inside you already. This way of being, this mental emotional homeostasis, which is completely natural and possible for everyone, is a place of authentic contentment. This place is a little like feeling full. The balance, joy, and natural sobriety of your inner sanctum is like choosing not to eat any more after dinner because you are already full. Full from such a yummy and satisfying meal that you don't even want to have another bite, or go to the casino, or seduce someone, or buy a baggie. So many people don't find this place, which is why they fail. From this place, making the right choices becomes easy because you get to have a choice. And real freedom is the freedom and ability to choose. So upwards and onwards we go, my friends. First, I will share this information, and then I will let you know what your options are for working with me. Diving right into the myth busting. So, myth number one, change is hard, okay? Or it's a long, hard road to recovery. So, that's complete garbage, which will make more sense by the end of this video. With the right knowledge, technique, support, the process can be both fast and smooth when you are with someone that knows what they are doing. So, myth number two, addiction is a disease. So, addiction is not a disease. So, there is a reason success rates with addiction, outside of my work that is, aren't great. And that's because the approach is wrong, which is why we are redefining things now. Addiction is not a disease. You are not sick. You are lost and disconnected from your inner self, a compulsive behavior of pleasure seeking. Myth number three, medication is the answer. Medication is crippling. If you have anxiety or depression, which often comes alongside addiction, and you are relying on medication for it, you will never reach your potential and you will never fix your problem, just suppress it. Taking medication is like never taking the training wheels off your bike. The solutions I mention improve every area of your mental health, as well as your life in its entirety. And myth number four is that you should be in rehab. So, the reality of rehabilitation centers, my honeys, is that they are overpriced, understaffed, generic, impersonal, and they take you away from real life. It's like being on holiday, right? It's different. So, there are better, more thorough, more personalized, faster, and more integrated ways. And you want to be working with someone who is passionate about what they do, which is especially important for matters of the mind and heart. It makes all the difference. And next on the agenda, we're going to speak about addiction as a behavior. So, addiction is a behavior. Okay, that's the first thing you need to know about it. That's it, it's a behavior. A neurological, biological, and physiological response to thought processes, which means that if you change the thought processes to a nicer one, you will automatically change the behavior. It's like a domino effect. The basis of most addictive behaviors is that the individual is looking for pleasure outside the self via an overindulgence in physical or external pleasure. You have been looking for happiness or pleasure in the wrong places for reasons that we will discover. To fix this, you must change this behavior. It's a mental behavior which involves a subtle but very powerful shift in focus. So, the pleasure or thrill you can get from things, people, or substances is diluted and infinitesimal compared to what is available to you externally. External pleasures pale in comparison to the internal. But when you have both, you have paradise. This is not only the best way to overcome addiction, but also the fastest path to ultimate happiness and fulfillment. So, whether it's sex, drugs, or rock and roll, all addiction comes down to behavior, albeit compulsive behavior. And any behavior can be changed. And I do not mean changing your behavior with willpower, discipline, and self control. No. Although these qualities are valuable for everyone to possess, there is a much easier way, which is to remove the desire, need, and feeling completely, which happens in your inner sanctum. If you are already peaceful and fulfilled, you are not going to want to hit a rush, a distraction, a thrill, or an escape, right? Again, once again, If you are already full, you are not going to want to eat. One of the best ways to change behavior is to change the way you think and feel. One great way to do this is by rewiring the brain. This also helps to switch your focus and attention from external solutions and pleasure to internal ones. One of the ways to rewire the brain is to choose new thoughts and feelings. So instead of trying to remold the old neural pathway or dig it up, we create another one nearby that's nicer, easier, and more attractive to walk on. So I do have extensive methods for rewiring and optimizing cerebral function inside my private and customized programs. However, something you can do on your own is to choose different and happier thoughts for yourself, which meditation will also help you to do. Partially because it shrinks the amygdala, partially because it trains your focus to be inwards. Biohacking behavior, guys. So, all behavior and impulses can be traced back to the workings of the subconscious or unconscious mind. So, rather than trying to fix or force a change in behavior with willpower or control, the best and fastest way is to go straight to the source, which is to work with and improve the unconscious mind. Now, I'm going to introduce you to something called CSBR. Take a good look at these letters, guys, because they are about to disappear. So CSBR, R follows B, follows S, follows C. Let's start with R. R stands for results. A result is anything you have or don't have in your life right now. Your weight, how happy you are, money in the bank, the state of your relationship, your entire life. All of it is a result. All result, all result is a byproduct of behavior. Behavior is action. The action you take as well as the action you do not take. Anxiety and depression, for example, are all behaviors. Behaviors of the mind that then create the neurochemistry of emotion, which repeated enough becomes your conditions. On the spectrum of, let's call it hedonism, the only thing separating addicts from recreational users and doers is frequency and intensity of behavior. Now, this is where it really gets interesting. S stands for state, mental emotional states. States are created by the mind. By the way, all mental emotional states are also physiological because they come from neurochemistry, right? So, states are created by the mind. All emotions are chemicals created by your hypothalamus in response to your thinking. Happy, sad, motivated, inspired, these are all states. And it is state that drives behavior, which often happens on an unconscious level. For example, you feel motivated and driven. You go to the gym, which is a behavior, B, which will ultimately get you a different result, R. If you have a good amount of discipline, awareness, and self control, for example, you can force behavior regardless of state, like going to the gym even if you don't want to. But that's the hard way, which is not what we are doing here, as you will see in a minute. What is often the case with, I don't like the word addict, let's call it extreme hedonist. What is often the case with extreme hedonists is that you are experiencing unwanted states using whatever your poison of choice is to change, escape, distract, or numb you from it, even if you aren't totally aware. So, going back to my example from earlier, you are hungry, therefore you eat, or in your case, drink, use, or orgasm. But if you are already full, you wouldn't even think of food, right? Exactly. So then, how do you become full? This brings me to my next point and the ultimate key to overcoming addiction, as well as any kind of unwanted state or behavior, actually, is C, changing conditioning. C is the first domino. When you successfully change your conditioning, which involves a number of things, you will feel so full and satisfied that you will not want another bite. You would have access to your inner sanctum. That is how you get and stay balanced, in control, and compulsion free. When you change your conditioning, then your state, behavior, and results will automatically improve. Remember how I said your thoughts are things, that all emotions are actually chemicals triggered by your thoughts? Your thinking is a part of your conditioning that starts at a subconscious level. So if you change that, then you will see a change in state, behavior, then result. For example, let's say you wanted your R result to be sobriety from alcohol. It would be much smoother and nicer and easier if you loved the way you were feeling and thinking, right? The same way, if you wanted to lose weight, the best way is if you loved exercising and craved healthy food, right? Your state would be motivated and you would crave healthy things, and it would be easy for your behavior to be in line with what you want your results to be. So, what would it be like if you felt calm and peaceful and in love with life? If you were in love with who you are, at peace with your past, and happy in every single area of your life? Huh? This all comes from the inside. So, if you were in this place, then, my friend, you are completely free. And that is the power of changing your conditioning. Now, for those of you who are ready to upgrade your innermost thoughts and feelings and change your conditioning, who want results as quickly, thoroughly, and effectively and as smoothly as possible, who are ready to get sober and stay there, you have the option to work with me one-on-one inside Bliss. I have developed highly specialized, personalized, and highly customizable programs over the years for key areas of life that people often struggle with. And they are all on my website, www.mindbody-magic.com. So the area of life you are going to be working on as a evolving hedonist who wants to purify and cultivate their inner sanctum is mental health. And the program you are wanting to take is called Bliss, or Project Bliss sometimes. So Project Bliss, because I have like problem deciding on names. I love words so much. So Project Bliss consists of 36 hours of one-on-one, private, confidential, and personalized coaching, healing, and optimization sessions with me. Ideally, we are doing 2 hours at a time together or more, especially at the beginning. And as we are having these sessions as many times a week as our schedules allow, until the process is complete. So once a week is enough, for example, but if you can progress and get results faster, then why not, right? So 24 of these hours will be verbal sessions that include learning, training, applying techniques, and undergoing processes. And 12 of these hours will be somatic movement therapy, which involve body movements, postures, and breathing techniques. So once you complete the program, you will have connected to your inner sanctum and you will likely be sober. And it can be relatively easy and enjoyable for you to stay there too. I have a recommended aftercare protocol for that, which I will share with you when the time comes. So there are 4 ways to work with me. 1 is online, 2 is at my location in Jumeirah 2 if you live in Dubai, 3 is at your location if you live in the UAE, and 4 is for me to travel to you or with you wherever you are and complete the majority of the program in 3 or 4 or 5 days, depending on availability. So if you would like to get started, please see a link here to book a 20-minute Zoom call with me where I can answer any of your questions and discuss logistics. So this initial 20-minute Zoom call is complimentary and a way for you to start your breakthrough. My standard hourly rate moving forward after the call begins at 1,800 dirhams, or right around the $500 mark. And this number increases with domestic or international travel. So there we are, everybody. Now, because I work with each of you individually, I only have so many people I can take on at any one time. So if you would like one of those people to be you or someone close to you, I recommend booking your breakthrough call with me soon. Do make sure you are also following me on Instagram at Al-Huneidi. If you aren't already, I often share helpful life advice. Looking forward to meeting you if I am meeting you. And for all of you, best of luck, stay strong, and remember to always begin with the end in mind. Be well and take care.